And by the way, when you are going to be pinning this back, I think all of you have a symmetric bustier, correct? So you all gonna have to drape only half of it. When you cut it, you're gonna cut both sides, okay? If you were to have an asymmetric, you will have to drape each side independently, okay? So, this looks to me straight from here up. This is not straight. Where is it? You see, most of the lines that you're going to do when you do a bustier will be with this ruler. When you do the bust, you do the rounded part on the cup. When you do the bottom part of the cup, you flip your ruler, and that's going to give you a nice side rounded shape bust cup. Under the bust, I don't know, I can get that song out of my head. Under the bust, you're going to flip the ruler the opposite way. And then your waist is never going to be a corner. It's always going to be rounded. So if I'm wearing this bustier over a full skirt, maybe I will add 1/4 of an inch at the bottom, right? And then I'm going to do nothing into the waist.
So you're adding the crease level?
So if I add 1/4 of an inch here, plus 1/4 of an inch is half, and half, 1. Right? But you would decide. If you have a really full skirt or you want a floating peplum, then you might need to do more. And you might need to do it on every seam. So it's all depending on your design. Cool? So now I'm going to add 1/2 an inch all the way around it. And now I'm going to pin it again and put it back again. When I put it back again, I will pin only the center front and only the center back, because your clothes are not pinned to your skin. Otherwise, your whole wardrobe will be red. Your clothes are actually floating over your body. We do only the center front because we're doing half of it. But otherwise, I wouldn't put any pins at all, because it should be sitting over your body. Now, it's not a bad idea that before doing this, I just skip a step. I would have walked my fabric to make sure that it fits in place. And you notice that I'm not really transferring the notches to the seam allowance because I'm going to do that when I transfer it into paper. Okay? So again, now that we are pinning this, okay, see my center front is much straighter than all the curves on the side front. So I'm going to fold in the center front, right? It's going to be your decision which one you need to do. Okay? So what will be my point of reference to start? The waist. Because the waist, we knew where the tape was, but the bust point, we kind of guessed it, right? So I'm going to fold it and I'm going to pin only the waist. And remember the same method as you pinned before, which most of you did it really well, right? You fold it down and you pinch your fabrics. Listen, that's where I always struggled with my students, that they always pinned wrong, but you guys got it. I'm so proud. I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Anyway.
So good.
They're going to call me Pinocchio. Anyway. See that? Because I pinned it with the pins perpendicular to the seam, this looks very flat. If I would have pinned it on the same direction of the seam, it would have looked very puckered, especially when you go around this shape out and this shape in, okay? So always get used to pinning perpendicular to the seam. See how it's creating this kind of ruffle thing? This is actually the shape of the waist. Now this is easy up to under the bust. When we get into the bust, I can't really treat it flat like I'm doing it right now. Now, remember I talked about at the beginning that I don't like the pins with the big heads, right? I forgot to mention this. Because when you put the fabric on top and you're draping, then the balls are actually on the way when you're trying to mark the straight line. And that's, if you have them, use them. Okay, there's nothing wrong with them. I just find it that it's actually on my way. That's why I like to use this kind of pins. Oh my God, the notch is almost perfect. I'm shocked. I mean, not really, but anyway. Well, now that I do the cup, now I'm going to hold it in the air because now it's going to start shaping the roundness of the breast. Okay? See how I'm trying to follow the curve? That's why I put my finger inside. And be careful, you're going to pin yourself. I am really shocked. The notches are exactly on its place. I guess I'm good. Who would have known? No, I think it's pure luck. It's never happened to me before. I'm honest. It never happens. It always is a little off. Because I'm guessing where the bust point is. I'm not really placing it. See, I spoke too soon. One side is longer than the other. This notch did not match. The other two did. 2 out of 3. Not bad. Should play the lotto. Okay? So I'm going to place here and show you guys to check if you have any mistakes that you need to check. And then I'm going to let you guys work, and later on I'm going to show you how to transfer this into paper. Okay? So I'm going to place it back in place. And I always start with the center front.
Can you please?
If I were to have, by the way, when you check your pattern, don't check the front separately than the back. Drape the 4 pieces or more, right? And then pin them all and check them all together, okay? Because it's not the front and the back. People don't walk like this, okay? We are 3-dimensional, so you have to look at it all around.
Can you please turn?
That reminds me of another movie.
The dress form.
As soon as I pin it.
Okay.
So we have to drape front and back.
Say it again?
Should we drape front and back? And then all
Yeah, you should drape the whole thing. So if I were to do that, I don't want you guys to be sitting here. I already see you yawning, right? Because it's the same process. Now, when you go and start draping the back, you're not going to start with the side front. You're going to go back from the center back and then work your way out. Okay?
Okay.
It's much easier.
Okay.
Or now I have to turn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now that I've placed, see the shape? How nice this shows,
Yes.
right? I don't know if the front is the right size because I don't have the back. So when I have the back and I pin it, I'll be able to adjust it. If it's too big on the waist, I will take the pins off, fold it in a little, repin it, and then whatever changes I do, then I will transfer them back into the pattern, right? So here goes up to here. And then look at the little 1/4 of an inch that I added. Look at how it separated the bottom for the skirt. Remember, when the other side is attached, it's not going to be pressed down, it's going to be separating, and that gives that little room for that extra garment. Okay? So, this wrinkle here, this is what the bone is for. The bone is going to do this. See how when I brush it, how I don't have a wrinkle anymore in there? So don't get too freaked out that it's too wrinkled in there. My biggest concern is the top of the bust. I don't like when the dresses are too separated. I have this philosophy. If you want to give a show, at least charge for it. Don't give free shows. She agrees with me. Huh? Let's make a buck or two. So again, I'm going to, notice that I didn't even pin it on the corner. I am pushing it up, and if you can zoom in, you can see that my line that I drew actually goes beyond the princess seam, because that's where I wanted it to be. I'm gonna put just a pin because I have only 2 hands. And now I'm going to check the other side, and if it actually lines up with my princess seam. So what I need to do is I need to repin this and remake the corrections. By the way, I have this little technique that I use. If I need to push the fabric a little bit, I actually use my pin and I brush it with my pin. See that? And again, I'm pinning fabric to fabric and not fabric to dress form. Oh, I said dress form. I didn't say mannequin.
Crazy.
I'm getting better. So now I can go back and make my correction. See here at the top, I need to go outside that line. Please guys, do not use eraser on fabric, okay? Because when you use eraser, you're actually spreading the weave and stretching the fabric. I'm gonna cross off the one that I don't think is right. And here, I'm going to redraw my correction. So this is gonna give me the opportunity to make sure that my notches match And now we have it ready to transfer it into paper. That's it.